Hello friends, welcome to KSP Academy. Last class we discussed what is the power factor, what are the low power factor we'll get, in which situations we are getting low power factor. If you go for low power factor, what are the disadvantages will be there, we already discussed. When moment low power factor will be there means our machine going to be efficiency will going to be reduced, the efficiency transmission losses will going to be more, the conductor cross section area is required. So many drawbacks will be there. To improve the power factor, we have a different methods basically. That's what today I am going to discuss, the improvement of your power factor. What kind of methodology we are having right now, that I am going to discuss. Generally, the improvement methods which are classified into the different categories depends upon the range of your reactive power unit to require, and then after that operation things, the service conditions, how they are applying to this reactive power given to the consumer loads, different types will be there. So basically we have three types we are having, as we know. We have a number of 10 to 50 we are having different models. After that there are only three I was going to explain, very important for you. So basically the power factor improvement methods, the three different categories is that. Number one is called as static capacitors. Static capacitor, first important equipment is static capacitors. Second thing is you can use synchronous condenser. Synchronous condenser. The third thing is whereas using generally phase advancers. Phase advancers. We have to use power factor improvement methods. Three different types of equipment we are using. First one is static capacitors, synchronous condenser, phase advancer. Now let us see one by one what is the application we are having. First one, let us see a static capacitors. The static capacitors, we are having a small capacitors, smaller size, which are connected to your load is a parallel, which are a small rating capacitors, which are connected in parallel to the load. For a three-phase power supply, we are connected for star or delta model. For three-phase power supply, we connected capacitor star model, delta model, not like this. Let us take capacitor like this or delta model like this. Also, we can connect it. This will be connected parallel to the line. In this, basically, there are 2-3 different things will be there. What are the advantages if we go this? What are the disadvantages we will go this? These static capacitors. What are the advantages and what are disadvantages? So basically, when you see advantages and disadvantages, the concept is simple. The advantage is to have very smaller capacitors. Wherever you want, you can require it. Is small size, easy to install. Small size, easy to install. Wherever you can carry easily. To go for what are the disadvantages for this? Limited voltage or limited current. So you can use for small, only up to small rating. If higher voltage, higher current will come, the static capacitor is going to be damaged. So once damaged, so repairing is not so typical task. We need to repair replacement to new other will. So damage for high current, high voltage. So replacement is required. Next, which are having a short services, which are having generally 8 to 10 years service. So the service will be very limited. That's what we should be very smaller rating reactive power requirement places, a smaller load cases which are applicable. For higher ratings, higher load is go to damages, less span of life. That's what these should be limited applications. So next, one more advantage is losses will be very less. Because no rotational part. No rotational part, the losses should be considered very less. So for high rating things, for a large reactive power, for varying the load, you have to go for synchronous condenser. So what is a synchronous condenser? So generally synchronous condenser, it's nothing but a synchronous motor. If you take a synchronous motor, if you operate your synchronous motor under no load condition, please over excite your machine. So we can say directly a overexcited synchronous motor operated under no load condition. Such a specific conditional motor is called as a synchronous condenser. We get synchronous motor definition: overexcited synchronous motor operated under no load condition. Overexcited synchronous motor operated under no load condition is called as a synchronous condenser. Overexcited synchronous motor operated under no load condition. That time we can call it as synchronous condenser. Whenever no load means you don't have any load. Overexcited machine means you are ready to send your reactive power to the loads. It means it having a source of reactive power. Now it is a source of reactive power, nothing but reactive power. So which are also connected to parallel, to the load of your synchronous motor. So same thing, the synchronous condenser we have some advantages, limited and disadvantages that I should cover for this examination point of view. So what are the advantages of synchronous motor means? Variable loads we can apply. Next, step controlling is there. Step control the loads, because when you are changing the excitation of the machine, we can control the reactive power. We can control reactive power to the load. Automatic control will take us, because excitation we can control. That's what this will be there. Next, which is for high rating, we can use easily. Next, stability is more, because machine is high more size, the stability of things will more. Which what are the disadvantages? The disadvantage is having losses will take place. Losses is more because the machine will possessing a big size and it's having rotational part, rotational losses. When the machine concerns rotational part, automatic mechanical losses comes in picture. That's what the machine will possess a rotational losses. That's what losses is more in the synchronous condenser. One more interesting part is that this synchronous motor will not start at self-started machine. Automatically required auxiliary component. It is not self-start. It is not a self-started machine. Automatically auxiliary components are required to start a machine. This is the drawbacks for this. But it is advantages for high rating of machine, large loads, stability is more. But drawbacks for this. This is the way for only we can use for high rating of machine, which is applicable better to give. Wherever you require high reactive power, you can connect for synchronous condenser. Examination the question asks, what is a synchronous condenser? We can say overexcited synchronous condenser. The first point, under no load condition, very important. Losses is there, and how you control step control, stability is more, then not self-starting, rotational losses. This is what advantage. This is the questions will come in examination. Next, go for a phase advancer. We have other concept. The phase advancer special category of this power factor control, which are not had generally. The phase advancer specially we can use for induction motors. Phase advancer basically we can use for induction motors. So generally all of our loads are induction loads. Basically induction motor we are using all cases. Whenever reactive power requirement is there, we have to use a phase advancers in the induction motors we can use. So how it is working is a very lengthy process that I will explain very clearly in that equipments. So let us shorten notes I you. The phase advancer connected to the rotor shaft of your induction motor. Let us take a stator. This is a rotor. This rotor on the shaft, the phase advancers will be sitting here. This is a phase advancer. Phase advancer which are sitting in the rotor shaft on the induction motor, which will give a reactive power to the rotor winding. Automatically the rotor winding will get overexcited automatically, which will get more reactive power automatically, which will be compensated from the lagging power to the leading power. So the phase advancer which are connected, which will be on the rotor shaft of induction motor like a generator. When the rotor shaft is rotated, the phase advancer will get rotated. So mechanical electrical energy will generate. That electrical energy giving to the rotor winding the rotor winding gets overexcited. Automatically, you can control your reactive power of your induction motor. Special purpose phase advancers are induction motors only. Next, what is the advantage means? We can use induction motor comfortably. The disadvantage is that, what the disadvantage is that generally it is limited, we can apply high rating machines. High rating machines only. Generally 200 HP. More than 200 HP rating of machines only we can apply the phase advancers. Because phase advancers are keeping in that induction motor little complex part. But smaller machine if you use means cost will more. That's what high rating machines, when you require specifically phase advancer you can use to keep in the rotor shaft, we can control. That's what high rating machines we can apply, we can easily get more benefits. This is the way these three different power factor equipment we are using. The regular market we have synchronous coil or series capacitor, shunt capacitor. This is the basic method. That will explain the transmission lines. We'll see that. Thanks for watching. Keep continuing for next videos.